Hello, welcome to the Porgcorner with your host Steven. We talk comics, film, book, television, science, and gaming. Today's mini-episode, I will be reviewing Hobbs Shaw, brought to you by Fast and the Furious. Let's get right into it. 2019 brings us another section of our Fast and the Furious franchise, but this time it's a spin-off focused specifically on The Rock as Hobbs and Jason Stamos as Shaw. In this particular rendition of a Fast and Furious movie, nothing is different. Everything is explosions and guns and fast cars and really funny banter, and this one, the only difference in this one, they did have cameos, which I found really, really funny. The Fast and the Furious franchise has had 8 movies. That's right, 8 movies. All of them but one used most of the same characters, same actors and same characters. But again, in Tokyo Drift, Vin Diesel does have a cameo to try to connect all the dots. Fast and the Furious, the very, very first one, a very different movie from the rest. We start out with, we have street racing, focused on cars, there's some crime, and we're trying to solve the crime, right? But then we jump into this crazy madness of world terror and trying to rob drug dealers and massive events happening. Like, we're blowing up airplanes, we're jumping out of buildings with cars, we're flying through the air. I mean, like, just insane things start happening with these characters. Things that, maybe a street racer probably would never get into, but that's besides the point. Now, let's focus specifically on Hobbs and Shaw. This movie itself, again, very much like the rest, explosions, cool cars, big guns, really funny banter. This movie, if you like big explosions, if you like action, gunfire, driving fast cars, trying not to get hit by buildings that are falling out of the sky, then this is the movie for you. If you're looking for a smart, witty, James Bond style movie, this is not the movie for you. Everybody's going to enjoy it. It's an adventure, there's excitement. You're on the edge of your seat the whole time, but it's also very corny. It's a little cheesy. Sometimes it's extremely unbelievable, but it is what it is. It's a Fast and the Furious franchise movie. Did they need to make a spinoff? Probably not. I believe both these characters could come into the next movie, or the next 2 movies they have under contract, and it didn't need to have its own spinoff. I think they did it to just expand the Fast and the Furious universe, but we'll see where this really goes. The things that did work for this movie, I would say, has to be the relationship between Hobbs and Shaw. They don't like each other. They don't like each other's style. They don't like each other's background. And quite literally, they don't like each other's faces in the movie. So the 2 characters are constantly bantering back and forth and giving each other ridiculous funny names, and the things that they're saying to each other, nobody should ever say to each other in real life. But because it's these 2 guys who could just totally just beat each other up, it makes it really, really funny. And then at times you introduce new characters like Kevin Hart, who plays a U.S. Sky Marshal, and he stops them in the middle of a banter on an airplane and tells them that they are both being ridiculous. However, he wants to help them in whatever mission they're trying to accomplish. Another great part about the movie, sticking with the Fast and Furious franchise, the cars that they use are really cool. The action sequences with the cars and guns and running around and fighting, very, very cool action scenes. So if you like explosions and action, it definitely does a really good job at that. Let's jump right into the actors here. Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, and Jason Statham. 2 incredible actors, which I don't think anybody would have ever said that about The Rock, like 15 years ago. I think we're all just a little bit amazed that he has come so far and created so many good and some really, really funny movies as well. But both of them really on point with their characters. Again, bringing both of those characters to life, just like in the other movies, but adding more depth to both of them, giving us a little bit more background on each of them. I think maybe that was the point of this spinoff. But in the end, they both do a great job, and I'm really impressed by their performances in the movie. The introduction of Vanessa Kirby's character, Shaw's sister, I liked her. She was a good actress. I didn't like her action scenes because I feel like she didn't spend as much time in like the dojo learning how to do all of the action and fighting scenes that she did. At times, you could definitely tell she was flying on a wire instead of just being able to fling her body into an awesome roundhouse kick. So I feel like they kind of fell short on her action scenes. Maybe just a little bit more time in the dojo would have worked. Let's talk about Idris Elba, the villain. I'm going to have to say this one, that Black Superman is by far my favorite Fast and the Furious villain. He encompasses everything that makes a perfect villain. He doesn't like the main actors. He doesn't like the world. He's trying to take over the world. He basically has superpowers. He has been mechanically enhanced. I mean, he is just so epic. And the way he talks about the world and how he wants to change the world, he really believes the things that he's saying. And I really strongly feel this is the best Fast and the Furious villain. We do fall short a little bit in certain areas. Specifically, again, my focus point, CGI. Cannot stand it when they use so much CGI that it becomes unbelievable. For example, Idris Elba, his character has a very cool motorcycle that kind of collapses and expands and changes shape however he needs it to perform to help him with whatever his mission is at the time. But we do these super slow-mos when it happens, and at that point you can really tell how digitally enhanced the motorcycle is, and it just does not read well on screen. At least for me, it didn't. But we do have, again, the franchise iconic element, which is huge set scenes. I mean, we go to Moscow, we're in London, and then we go to Hawaii, and they don't just do like, nothing's on set. It's all like on site. So you could definitely feel like we were on the city streets of London. They're definitely in the middle of that. Having just gotten back from that European trip, I know I walked those streets. Overall, this film, I give it a thumbs up. I know Mark did too. When we came out of the movie, we were both very excited, and we both really enjoyed it. We do feel it falls short of your traditional James Bond style Mission Impossible movie, not because of funding or because of the actors. It just, they even, I don't know, it just wasn't as well put together as, say, a James Bond movie or a Mission Impossible movie. I mean, they even had a scene where they went to a specialist, and the specialist gave them all their equipment, laid it out on a table, and said, this is for that. Use this one time for this one thing. Like, they had a thermal camera to look through walls. They used it one time to look through a door. I mean, they didn't even need it. They could have just opened the door and seen what was inside because they were about to open the door and go inside. It's, kind of those unnecessary elements. So there you have it. There's my quick Minisode review of Hobbs and Shaw. I'm a huge Fast and the Furious franchise nerd. I really enjoy all the Fast and the Furious movies. Clearly, the first one was the best one. But if you like the first one, you kind of have to go see the rest of them. So here I am, a huge fan and an owner of all of those movies. Tell us what you thought. What did you expect from the movie? Did you enjoy the movie? You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at the Porgcorner. Thank you for joining us, and we'll catch up with you on the next episode. Bye, guys.